The alarm clock reads 5:27 when my eyes open. I have not needed an alarm to wake me at this hour in 23 years. My body knows the time the way it knows how to breathe. I lie still for a moment and listen to the house settle around me. The furnace kicks on with its familiar groan. The refrigerator hums in the kitchen below. Mark breathes heavy and slow beside me, his back turned, one arm dangling off the edge of the bed. I slip out from under the covers and pad ba refoot to the bathroom. The mirror shows me the face I have seen every morning for 30 years, but today I look different. The lines around my eyes seem deeper. The shadows underneath them are darker. I lean closer and study myself like I am meeting a stranger. 23 years at Caldwell Logistics. 23 years of waking up before the sun and coming home after it has set. 23 years of missing school plays and rise and quiet evenings on the porch. I take a shower that is longer than usual. The water runs hot and I let it beat against my shoulders, the same shoulders that have ride folders and laptops and the weight of other people's expectations. I think about the letter in my handbag. I rewrote it 7 times over 3 weeks. Each draft felt wrong because how do you compress 2 decades into a single page? How do you explain that you are leaving not because you are angry or bitter or burned out, but because you have finally understood that you are invisible? I dry myself and dress in the navy blouse I have worn on important days for the past 8 years. The fabric is soft from too many washings. The collar is slightly frayed. I pin my name badge to it anyway. Eleanor Chin. Senior Operations Manager. The words feel like they belong to someone else now. Downstairs, the coffee maker is already gurgling. I pour myself a cup and stand at the kitchen window, watching the street outside slowly come to life. The neighbor's dog barks at a passing car. A beige truck rumbles past. Normal morning sounds that I have ignored for years because I was always rushing out the door. Mark's footsteps on the stairs are heavy and deliberate. He comes into the kitchen with his tie already knotted and his phone already in his hand. He does not look at me when he speaks. So you are really doing this today? I wrap my hands around my coffee mug and feel the warmth seep into my palms. I have to. I gave them 2 weeks' notice. They have known this day was coming. He sets his phone down on the counter and finally meets my eyes. They are not going to take it well. You are abandoning them in the middle of a quarter. The Thompson account is in the middle of renewal negotiations. The regional reports are due next week. You know what kind of position this puts them in. I take a slow sip of my coffee and set the mug down refully. Mark. I have been there 23 years. I have missed more birthdays than I can count. I have worked through holidays and weekends and nights when Lisa was sick and I could not be there because there was a deadline. I think I have earned the right to leave. He shakes his head and picks up his phone again, scrolling through something that is clearly more important than this conversation. You are not thinking about the family. Lisa's tuition is due in 3 months. That is $4,000 we do not have saved. You are walking away from a steady paycheck and a benefits package and the only retirement plan we have. My daughter Lisa is 19 years old and in her 2nd year at the state college. She is the one thing in my life that has never made me feel invisible. She calls me every Sunday without fail. She sends me photos of her friends and her dorm room and her terrible cafeteria food. Lisa can take out a loan like everyone else. I have already set aside enough for her first 2 years. We will figure out the rest. Figure it out. He repeats the words like they are a joke. That is always your answer. Figure it out. While I am the one who has to clean up the mess. While I am the one who has to explain to people that my wife walked out on a perfectly good job because she could not handle the pressure. I set my coffee mug down with more force than I intend. The ceramic clinks against the counter. I am not walking out because I cannot handle the pressure. I am walking out because I have been handling the pressure for so long that I have forgotten what it feels like to breathe. He opens his mouth to respond, but I am already walking toward the front door. I grab my handbag from the hook. The resignation letter is inside it, folded neatly into thirds. I have ride it with me for 2 weeks, waiting for today. The drive to Caldwell Logistics takes 40 minutes in traffic. I have made this drive so many times that my hands know the turns before my brain can think about them. The building is beige concrete with dark reflective windows. It sits in the middle of a business park that looks exactly like every other business park in the city. I park in my usual spot, the one with my name painted on the concrete. Eleanor Chin, Senior Operations Manager. I sit in the car for a long moment and look at the letters. Then I get out and walk inside. The lobby is quiet at this hour. The security guard nods at me as I swipe my badge through the turnstile. Good morning, Mrs. Chin. I smile and nod back. The elevator doors open and I step inside. The ride up to the 4th floor feels longer than usual. The numbers above the door tick up slowly. 2, 3, 4. The bullpen is already buzzing with activity. 30 cubicles arranged in neat rows. The overhead lights hum with that particular fluorescent buzz that I have grown so accustomed to I rely hear it anymore. I pass Daniel's cubicle and he does not look up. 3 years I mentored him. Taught him everything I knew about client relations and contract negotiation and how to read a room full of executives. Now he sta residential at his computer screen with such intensity that it is clear RLY performative. I walk to my own cubicle and set my handbag down on the desk. The framed photo of Lisa at her high school graduation sits in the corner. Her smile is wide and uncomplicated. I touch the frame briefly before I sit down. At 9 o'clock, my assistant Rachel appears with a cup of tea. She sets it down on my desk the way she has done every morning for the past 2 years. Here you go. Last cup from me. I look up at her. Rachel, you do not have to do that. I am still here until the end of the day. She shakes her head and her eyes glisten. I want to. You taught me everything. Every single thing I know about this place. I would not have survived my first year without you. I feel a tightness in my chest. Rachel is 26 years old. She reminds me so much of myself at that age. Eager. Hungry. Desperate to prove something to a world that does not stop that. This is a good thing. I am moving on and you will be fine. You have more talent than you know. She blinks rapidly. It is not the same since they announced you were leaving. Everyone is different. Stephen is already moving into your office. He had his team clear out the conference room yesterday so he could set up his things in there. Stephen is my colleague. He joined the company 5 years ago after working at a competitor. He has a firm handshake and a smile that does not quite reach his eyes. We competed for the same promotion 3 years ago. I got it. He has never forgiven me. I expected that. That is how these things work. At 9:30, the meeting begins. I walk into the conference room and take my seat at the long table. The faces around me are familiar. I have sat in meetings with these people for years. But today, they avoid my gaze. Their eyes slide past me like I am a piece of furniture that is being moved out of the room. Stephen sits at the head of the table next to the chair where Mr. Risen usually sits. The CS chair is conspicuously empty. A stack of folders occupies the space where he should be. I clear my throat and begin to speak. Thank you all for coming. As you know, today is my last day. I wanted to formally transition my projects and say a few words about the work I have done. Stephen does not look up from the papers in front of him. Let us make this quick, shall we? We have a full day ahead and there is a lot to cover. I think we all have a good sense of your contributions. No need for a speech. The words land like a slap. I feel heat rise to my cheeks. I am not usually someone who gets flustered, but 23 Rs deserve more than this. I think there are important details about the Thompson account that need to be addressed before I leave. The Thompson account is already handled. Stephen waves a hand dismissively. I have reviewed the files. My team and I have it under control. You do not need to worry. Handled is a strong word. The Thompson account is our biggest client. It represents 40% of our annual revenue. I built that relationship over 8 years. I know the client's preferences. I know his pet peeves. I know the names of his children and the names of his children's dogs. That knowledge is not in any file. Stephen. A voice from across the table. It is Maria from accounting. She is one of the few people in this room who still looks at me like I am a human being. I think you should let her speak. Stephen's jaw tightens, but he says nothing. I look at Maria and nod once. Thank you. But it is fine. I will leave my transition documents with Rachel. She can explain anything that is Uncle AR. The meeting continues for another 40 minutes. People talk about me like I am already gone. They discuss my projects and my accounts and my team in the past tense. When Eleanor leaves. After the transition. Under the new leadership structure. The words clinical. Sterile. The way you might talk about a piece of equipment being replaced. When the meeting ends, no one comes to say goodbye. They file out one by one, shuffling past me with averted eyes. I stand alone in the conference room and look at the empty chairs and the stack of folders on the CS chair. The hum of the overhead lights seems louder now. 23 Rs. This is what it comes down to. I go back to my cubicle and begin the slow process of cleaning out my desk. I do it myself because no one offers to help. I pack the framed photos. The AWA RDS. The silly mug that Lisa made me in 2nd grade with the crooked letters and the chipped handle. I fold my sweaters and SCAVs into a plastic bag. I collect the notebooks and pens and sticky notes that have accumulated over the RS like sediment. I am halfway through when I hear the whispers START. Can you believe she is really leaving? After everything they gave her. Must be nice to walk away when the going gets tough. She has been checked out for months. Probably just phoning it in. That is why Stephen had to step in. I keep packing. I do not look up. But my hands are shaking. At 11:15, my desk phone rings. I ignore it. It rings again. I ignore it again. A 3rd time. I pick up. Eleanor. This is David Thompson. My heart stops. David Thompson is the C of Thompson Industries. Our biggest client. The one Stephen was so confident about handling. Mr. Thompson. How are you this morning? Listen. I just got a very interesting call from your office. A man named Stephen something or other told me that you were leaving and that I should direct all future communications to him. Is that correct? I close my eyes and take a breath. Unfortunately, yes. Today is my last day. There is a long pause on the line. Eleanor. We have worked together for 8 years. You know what? I do not trust this new person. I do not trust anyone who calls me on my personal line to announce a change without even asking how I feel about it. You are leaving, and I think I need to reconsider my relationship with your company. I open my mouth to respond, but I am cut off by shouting from the hallway. It is Mr. H.A. Risen's voice. I have never heard the C yell before. It is a deep, booming sound that echoes through the entire floor. Who the hell authorized that phone call? I poke my head out of my cubicle. The entire bullpen has frozen. Every single employee is staring at Stephen, who is stumbling out of a meeting room with his phone pressed to his ear. His face has gone the color of paste. Mr. H.A. Risen is following him, red-faced and furious. I did not know he would call directly. Stephen's voice is thin and reedy. I was just following protocol. The client needed to be informed of the change. Protocol. You call our biggest client without authorization to tell them that their point of contact is leaving. Do you have any idea what you have done? The man's tone could strip paint. Stephen's mouth opens and closes like a fish. He looks small suddenly. Diminished. I realize I am still holding the phone. David Thompson is still on the line. I hear him breathing. I step out of my cubicle and walk toward the commotion. The whole office is watching. Eyes wide. Mouths slightly open. The quiet whispers have turned into total silence. I have never seen a scene like this in all my years at Caldwell Logistics. Mr. H.A. Risen. My voice is calm. I have David Thompson on the line. He wants to discuss our business relationship. The CS face cycles through several emotions in quick succession. Relief. Horror. Disbelief. Give me the phone. He holds out his hand and I place the receiver in his palm. He walks away, speaking in low, urgent tones. Stephen slumps against the wall. His hand is pressed to his forehead. He looks like a man who has just realized he is standing on a trapdoor. By the time I get back to my cubicle, my desk phone is ringing again. And again. And again. I stop counting after the fifth call. At 11:30, the phone is a constant stream of ringing. My mobile phone buzzes in my pocket without stopping. I see the names flashing across the screen. Regional managers. Department heads. Senior vice presidents. People who never bothered to learn my first name. Suddenly desperate to talk to me. Rachel runs up to my cubicle with her face pale and her eyes wide. Eleanor. What is happening? Everyone is calling. The phones are going crazy. Mr. H.A. Risen's assistant just announced that all client correspondence goes through you until further notice. Stephen has been banned from contacting clients. I sta at my phone. Another call. Another name I recognize. Another person who ignored me at the meeting this morning. I feel something shift inside me. Not satisfaction. Not vindication. Something quieter. Something that feels like exhaustion. This is not what I wanted. I say it more to myself than to her. Eleanor. Rachel's voice is hushed. They are re-saying 62 calls hit the CS phone by lunch. 62. Mr. H.A. Risen is in a closed-door meeting with Stephen right now and people are re-saying he might be fired. I sink into my chair and look at the half-packed box on my desk. My last day. The one I imagined as a quiet exit. A peaceful walk into the sunset. Instead, it has become a circus. And the worst part is, I do not feel victorious. I feel like I have been fighting a battle I did not know I was in. At noon, the office does not empty for lunch. No one moves. Everyone is glued to their desks, watching the drama unfold through the corners of their eyes. I can feel their attention on me. The woman who was invisible this morning is now the center of everything. Mr. H.A. Risen emerges from his office at 12:30. He walks directly to my cubicle. The office holds its breath. Eleanor. He stands in front of me. I need to speak with you. Privately. I follow him to his office. It is the first time I have ever been invited in. For 23 years, I have always been a door knocker. An appointment maker. Someone who waits. He closes the door and gestures to a chair. What happened this morning was unacceptable. I want to formally apologize. Stephen acted without authorization and I am taking steps to address it. I do not sit. I do not move. I am not here for apologies. I know. I know. He rubs his face with both hands. I have received 62 calls from clients in the past hour. 62 people who want to know if you are leaving and if the company is stable. I did not realize the extent of your relationships until this morning. Frankly, I should have. Frankly. I let the word hang in the air. Frankly, you should have a lot of things. He flinches. Eleanor. I am asking you to reconsider your resignation. We can offer you more money. A better title. A seat at the executive table. Whatever you want. Money and titles were never the problem. My voice is steady. The problem is that I became invisible. And it is not your fault alone. It is mine too. I let it happen. I stayed quiet when I should have spoken up. I accepted being ignored until I could not remember the last time someone asked me how I was doing. He leans four-way road. I am offering you a chance to change that. I finally meet his eyes. Thank you, Mr. H.A. Risen. But I am not coming back. I am leaving today, just like I planned. The difference is that now I am leaving on my own terms. The 62 calls you received were not a demonstration of my power. They were a demonstration of how much work you have to do. You have neglected your people for years. I am just the first to walk out the door. If you do not change, you will lose the rest of them too. I turn and walk out of his office. Past the cubicles and the STA ring employees. Past Stephen, who is still pale and shaking by the water cooler. Past Rachel, who is holding my CA Boe road box filled with the remnants of 23 years. I take the box from her and give her a hug. She is crying again. Do not stay too long. I whisper it in her ear. When you feel ready, leave before they make you forget who you are. The walk to the parking lot is quiet. The sun is warm on my face. I put the box in the trunk of my car and sit in the driver's seat for a long moment. I just breathe. I start the engine and I drive home. When I walk through the front door, Mark is in the living room. He is watching a news report on the television, but he turns it off when I come in. I had not told him I would be home early. He rode. His voice is reeful. Someone from the office called. They said you caused a scene. I set down my purse. Is that what they said? They said Stephen is being investigated. They said Mr. H.A. Risen practically begged you to stay and you said no. Everyone is talking about it. I did not cause a scene. I accepted what happened and I left. That is all. Mark stands up. He looks uncertain, which is rare for him. Your phone has been ringing off the hook. I did not answer it. I did not know what to say. I walk to the kitchen and pour myself a glass of water. I sit at the table. Mark follows me. Are you okay? He asks the question like it costs him something. It is such a simple question. I realize it is the first time he has asked me that in years. Maybe ever. I think about the morning and the whispers and the calls. I think about the faces of people who wanted to be anywhere else rather than say goodbye to me. I am going to be fine. I say it and I mean it. He nods slowly. I can see him processing the day. The weight of it. The strangeness of seeing his wife come home at lunchtime instead of dinner time. I do not know what to do with myself, he admits. I have never seen you like this. Like what? Like you were redone. Like you were not going to keep fighting anymore. I look around the kitchen. The dishes in the sink. The mail piled on the counter. The calendar are on the fridge with all the appointments and deadlines that were never mine. I am not done fighting. I am just done fighting the wrong battles. He sits down across from me. What are you going to do tomorrow? I think about the question. Tomorrow. I have not planned tomorrow. For 23 years, every single day was planned down to the minute. I think I will see what it feels like to wake up without an alarm. I think I will make myself a cup of tea and sit in the garden and see what happens. He reaches across the table and takes my hand. His grip is warm and familiar. I am sorry. For this morning. For what I said. For all the mornings I did not ask you how you were doing. I squeeze his hand back. I am sorry too. For all the evenings I was not here. For all the times I put the office before us. We sit in the quiet of the kitchen. The refrigerator hums. The clock on the wall ticks. The phone in my bag buzzes one more time, but I do not reach for it. The rest of my life is finally beginning. And I am not afraid. The phone on the nightstand buzzes at 7:30 in the morning. I have been awake for an hour already, just lying in bed and watching the sunlight creep across the ceiling. Mark is still asleep beside me, his breathing deep and even. I reach for the phone and see 37 missed calls and 42 text messages. Most of them are from unknown numbers or from people I have not spoken to in years. One message stands out. It is from Rachel. Eleanor, please call me. The whole office is in chaos. Stephen has been put on administrative leave. Mr. H.A. Risen called an all-hands meeting at 9. Everyone is asking about you. I do not know what to tell them. I stare at the screen for a long moment. Then I put the phone face down on the nightstand and get out of bed. I pull on my robe and walk downstairs. The kitchen is quiet. The coffee maker is still set to the timer I programmed years ago, so it has already brewed a full pot. I pour myself a cup and stand at the window, watching the morning unfold outside. The neighbor is walking her dog. A delivery truck rumbles past. Normal things. Ordinary things. Things I have not had time to notice in years. I hear Mark's footsteps on the stairs. He comes into the kitchen with his hair still mussed from sleep and his eyes still heavy. He looks at me standing by the window and stops. You have been awake for a while. Since 6. I take a sip of my coffee. I did not want to wake you. He pours himself a cup and sits at the table. Your phone has been going off all night. I tried to put it on silent, but I could not figure out the settings. It is fine. I will deal with it later. He sets down his coffee cup and looks at me with an expression I do not recognize. Concern, maybe. Or respect. I am not sure which. I heard more about it this morning. My colleague's wife works in your HR department. She said Stephen has been planning for months to push you out. He wanted to take over your division and he thought that if he could make you look obsolete, he could force you out. I sit down across from him. Stephen was never good at seeing the big picture. He looks at spreadsheets and thinks that is the whole story. He does not understand the phone calls and the handshakes and the trust that takes years to build. He thought he could just walk in and take over. Are you going to call them back? The people who have been calling you. I wrap my hands around my coffee cup and think about the question. The calls represent something I never fully appreciated until yesterday. The web of connections I built over 2 decades. It is not power in the traditional sense. It is something quieter. Something deeper. It is the belief that other people have in you. I will call back the ones who matter. The rest can wait. He nods slowly. I can see him processing everything. The weight of it. The strangeness of having me home on a Tuesday morning. I am taking the day off, he says. I called my office and told them I needed to handle some personal things. I look at him with surprise. You never take days off, I know. He shrugs. But I thought maybe we could talk. About yesterday. About everything. I have been thinking a lot and I realized I have been a bad husband. I let you carry everything. The money. The house. Lisa. I was so consumed with my own job and my own stress that I forgot we were supposed to be a team. I feel a lump form in my throat. Mark. I do not know what to say. You do not have to say anything. He reaches across the table and takes my hand. I just want you to know that I am going to try. I am going to try to be better. I know I cannot undo the past, but I can change the future. I squeeze his hand back. That is all I ever wanted. Just someone who sees me. We finish our coffee in silence. It is a comfortable silence, the kind we used to read before the IRS and the stress and the busyness got in the way. When we are redone, I clear the cups from the table and walk to the back door. I want to see the garden. The garden has been neglected for IRS. The roses are overgrown. The weeds have taken over the flower beds. The grass is patchy and brown. But underneath all the mess, I can still see the bones of what it used to be. The stone path that my father laid when we first moved into this house. The bench where I used to sit and read when I was a girl. Mark comes out and stands beside me. It looks terrible, he says. It has potential. I bend down and pull a weed from the soil. It comes out easily, roots and all. I think I want to fix this place. I want to make it beautiful again. I will help you. He kneels down beside me and starts pulling weeds too. We work in silence for a while, just the two of us in the morning sun. The dirt is seal and damp under my fingers. The smell of the EARTH reminds me of my childhood. At 9 o'clock, I go inside and pick up my phone. I scroll through the list of missed calls and find the number I am looking for. David Thompson. I press call and wait. He answers on the first ring. Eleanor. I was hoping you would call. I heard about what happened at your office yesterday. I want you to know that my offer still stands. I do not trust Stephen and I do not trust a company that treats you like that. I walk out to the back porch and sit on the steps. David, I appreciate that. But I am not going to be part of any drama. I have moved on. I am not asking you to be part of drama. I am asking you to consider working with me directly. I have been thinking about rooting an independent logistics division. I need someone with your experience and your connections. Someone who knows the industry inside and out. I am not sure I am ready for that yet. Take your time. He says it firmly. The offer stands forever. I have learned that good people are hard to find and harder to keep. Whatever you decide, you have my full support. I hang up the phone and stare at the garden. The weeds are repiled in a heap at the edge of the lawn. Mark is still pulling them, his back bent, his hands covered in dirt. I watch him for a moment and feel something shift inside me. Something that feels like hope. By the afternoon, I have made a decision. I am not going to call anyone else back today. I am not going to open my email. I am not going to let the chaos of yesterday define today. Instead, I am going to drive to my mother's house. My mother lives 40 minutes away in the house I grew up in. It is a small yellow house on a quiet street. The paint is peeling and the porch steps creak, but it has always felt like home. I have not visited in 6 weeks. That is too long. She is in the kitchen when I arrive. She is 72 years old and still spry. Her hair is silver and she wears it short. She is chopping vegetables at the counter when I walk in. She takes one look at my face and sets down her knife. Sit down. You look like you have not slept in a week. I sit at the familiar kitchen table. The same table where I did my homework. The same table where my father used to read the newspaper and tell me about his day. I tell my mother everything. The resignation. The meeting. The phone calls. The chaos. I tell her about Stephen and Mr. H.A. Risen and the 62 clients who suddenly remembered my name. She listens without interrupting. When I am done, she nods slowly. Do you remember what I said to you when you took that job? I think back. I was 26 years old. Fresh out of graduate school. Thrilled to have a position at Caldwell Logistics. My mother did not throw a party. She did not celebrate. She sat me down and said, "BCA refill. They will take everything you have and give you nothing back." Yes. I remembered. She looks at me with those sharp eyes that miss nothing. And I was right, was I not? I want to argue, but I cannot. She was right. They took my time. My energy. My health. They took my attention away from my marriage and my daughter and my own life. And in the end, they made me feel like I was the one who owed them something. But I am out now. That is what matters. My mother reaches across the table and pats my hand. You are out. Now the real work begins. She makes tea and we sit in the living room. The same living room where I grew up. Same floral couch. Same worn CA pet. Same framed photos on the mantle. She opens an old photo album and shows me pictures of myself at Lisa's age. All ambition and determination. I look like a stranger. There is something I never told you, she says. When I was 42 years old, I left my job at the school. I did not tell your father until after I had handed in my resignation. Everyone told me I was making a mistake. My colleagues said I would never find another job. Your father was worried about money. But I needed to leave. I needed to remember who I was outside of that building. I look at my mother. This woman I have known my whole life. I realize there is so much I do not know about her. What did you do after? I baked. She smiles. I root a small baking business out of this kitchen. Nothing special. Just pies and cakes for local events. It was not much, but it was mine. And it taught me that I could do something on my own without anyone's permission. I feel tears sting my eyes. I did not know that. There is a lot you do not know. And that is not your fault. It is the fault of a world that makes us forget we are more than our job titles. We spend the rest of the afternoon talking. My mother tells me about her baking business. The people she met. The joy she found in creating something with her own hands. I tell her about Lisa and Mark and the years I spent trying to balance everything and feeling like I was failing at all of it. Why did you stay so long? She asks. When things got bad, why did you not leave? I think about the office. The long hours. The promotions that never came. The gratitude that was never expressed. I thought if I worked hard enough, someone would see me. Someone would say, "Eleanor, you are doing a good job." I kept thinking that if I just tried a little harder, things would change. And did they? No. They never did. Because you were waiting for someone else to give you permission to matter. My mother's voice is firm. And they never will. You have to give that permission to yourself. I leave my mother's house at dinner time. I feel lighter than I have in years. I get in my car and drive. Not home. I drive to Lisa's college. It is a 2-hour drive, but I do not see a I need to see her. I need to see the person I did right. Lisa lives in a small dormitory on the edge of campus. The building is old and the paint is chipped, but it is full of young people who are just rooting their lives. I text her from the parking lot and she comes running out. She is surprised to see me, but she does not ask why I am here. She just opens her arms and gives me a hug. Mom. You look different. I hold her at arm's length. Different how? I do not know. Lighter. Like something lifted off your shoulders. I laugh. Something did. I quit my job yesterday. Her eyes go wide. What? That job you have had forever. That is the one. She pulls me into the building and up to her room. It is small and cluttered. Posters on the walls. Laundry on the floor. Textbooks piled on the desk. She pushes a pile of clothes off her bed and sits me down. Tell me everything. I tell her the whole story. Just like I told my mother. She listens with the same attention. The same lack of interruption. When I am done, she shakes her head. Mom. I cannot believe you stayed that long. That is what everyone keeps telling me. Dad called me this morning. He told me there was some big drama at your work and you were in the middle of it. But he did not explain anything. He just said I should call you and make sure you were okay. I feel a pang of gratitude. Tau rdmark. What did you say? I told him you were fine because you were always fine. But then I got worried and I was going to call you anyway. I hold Lisa's hand. I am more than fine. I am free. And I want you to learn something from all of this. What? Do not give yourself away to people who do not see you. Your time. Your energy. Your heart. Do not pour it into places where it is not appreciated. You have to protect yourself. Because no one else will. She nods slowly. I know she is listening. But I also know she is young and the lessons I am giving her are the kind that can only be learned through experience. She will make her own mistakes. She will find her own way. I can only hope she remembers what I said. I stay with Lisa until late. We share a dinner of pizza and bad cafeteria food. We talk about her classes and her friends and her plans for the summer. She is considering a study abroad program in Spain. I encourage her to go. Travel is never a waste of money. By the time I drive home, it is past midnight. The roads are empty. The sky is clear and full of stars. I feel a strange calm settle over me. Yesterday, I was invisible. Today, I am surrounded by people who see me. When I walk through the front door, Mark is waiting up for me. He is in the living room with the light on and a cup of tea in his hand. I set down my purse and sit beside him. I drove to see Lisa. I say it before he can ask. He nods. I figured. You always go to her when things get heavy. I am not heavy anymore. I lean my head against his shoulder. I am lighter. I feel like I can breathe for the first time in years. He puts his arm around me. I am glad. You deserve to feel light. We sit in the quiet for a long moment. The phone in my bag buzzes, but I ignore it. I am exactly where I want to be. The next morning, I wake up without an alarm. The sun is already up and the house is quiet. Mark has already left for work, but he has left a note on the kitchen counter. Coffee is made. I will be home by 6. I love you. I read the note 3 times. It is such a simple thing, but it feels monumental. 23 RS and he has never left me a note before. I pour myself a cup of coffee and sit in the garden. The weeds are still piled in a heap, but the flower beds look better. Mark and I made a good start yesterday. I think about what else I can do. The garden has so much potential. So do I. At 9 o'clock, I pick up my phone and scroll through the messages. I still have over 100 missed calls. I decide to call Rachel first. She answers on the second ring. Eleanor. I am so glad you called. I have so much to tell you. Slow down. Tell me everything. She takes a deep breath. The announcement went out at 8 this morning. Stephen is officially on leave pending investigation. They are saying he used confidential client information in his presentation to Mr. Risen. No one is saying what the information was, but people are talking. There is going to be a formal inquiry. That does not surprise me. Stephen always had an edge to him. A willingness to bend rules that I never felt comfortable with. I always suspected he was hiding something. I just never had proof. Rachel, you need to protect yourself. Do not get dragged into whatever mess he has created. I know. That is why I am calling you. I have been thinking about what you said. About leaving before they make you forget who you are. And I think I am ready. Ready for what? To quit. I have another offer. A small firm, but they are regrowing. They need someone with my skills. They are offering me more money than I am making here, and the culture is completely different. No open floor plans. No gossip. No politics. Just work. I feel a surge of pride for this young woman. That is wonderful. You should take it. Will you be my reference? I know it is a lot to ask, but you are the only one who can really speak to what I can do. Of course I will. Send me the details and I will call them today. Thank you, Eleanor. Thank you for everything. You taught me more than you know. I hang up the phone and sit back in the garden chair. A small joy spreads through me. Knowing I helped someone else escape. It is not the same as the big victories I used to chase, but it is something. It is real. Later that afternoon, I receive a call from an unknown number. I almost ignore it, but something makes me pick up. Mrs. Chin. My name is Grace Thompson. I am David's wife. I am confused. David and I never discussed personal matters. Never shared details about our families. Grace. Hello. Is everything all right? I do not mean to intrude. She has a warm voice. But I have been listening to David talk about you for the past week. He has been so upset about what happened at your company. And I wanted to say something to you. I wait, unsure where this is going. I am a woman in business too. I have been there. The invisible YRS. The YRS where you work twice as hard and get half the recognition. And then one day you realize you have been pouring yourself into a place that will never pour back into you. Her words hit a nerve. You understand that I do. And I want to tell you something that no one told me when I was in your position. Take the time you need to heal. Do not rush back into anything. The world will still be here when you are ready. But you need to give yourself permission to rest. I feel TRS prick at my eyes. This woman, a total stranger, is speaking directly to the part of me I have been trying to ignore. The part that is tired down to the bone. Thank you. I needed to hear that. One more thing. David's offer was not just about business. He sees something in you that goes beyond your resume. Whatever you decide to do, know that you have allies. Real ones. Not just people who need something from you. I hang up the phone and sit with the weight of her words. That evening, Mark comes home at 6 just like he promised. He brings takeout from the Chinese restaurant we used to go to before life got too busy. We eat at the kitchen table like we used to do. We talk about his day and my day and nothing in particular. It feels normal. It feels good. After dinner, we sit on the back porch and watch the sunset over the garden. The roses are rooting to bloom again. The weeds are gone. I think about everything that has happened in the past few days. The resignation. The chaos. The calls. The conversations. I think about my mother and her baking business. I think about Rachel and her new job. I think about Grace Thompson and her unexpected kindness. I think about Mark and the note he left me this morning. I think about who I am now. Outside of the office. Without the title and the badge and the box of files. I am still figuring it out, but I am not afraid of the question anymore. For the first time in 23 years, I have the space to find the answer. The week after I quit my job is a strange mixture of freedom and anxiety. Each morning I wake up without an alarm, but my body still expects the routine of the office. I find myself walking toward the closet to pick out a blouse, then stopping when I remember I do not have to. The habits of 23 years do not disappear overnight. On Monday morning, I sit in the garden with my coffee and watch the sun rise over the overgrown roses. The weeds are still piled in a heap from the weekend, but the flower beds look better. Mark and I worked on them together on Saturday and Sunday. We pulled more weeds. We turned the soil. We planted new seeds that my mother gave me from her own garden. It feels good to work with my hands. It feels good to create something instead of just managing it. Mark leaves for work at 7:30. He kisses me on the forehead before he goes, which is something he has not done in years. I will be home by 6, he says. Maybe we can work on the back corner today. That patch by the fence is still full of weeds. I nod and watch him drive away. The house is quiet. The phone sits on the kitchen counter, dark and silent. I decided yesterday that I would not check my messages until I was ready. Today, I am ready. I bring the phone out to the garden and sit on the porch steps. I scroll through the list of missed calls. There are over 100. I start at the beginning and listen to the voicemails in order. The early ones are businesslike. Professional. Eleanor, this is Marie from Regional Sales. I just wanted to touch base about the upcoming project. Please give me a call when you have a moment. The next one is similar. Eleanor, this is Frank from the Thompson account team. I heard about your depot tour and I wanted to discuss the transition. The messages are refull. Measured. They treat me like a colleague who is simply moving on. Then the tone changes. Eleanor, this is Diane from Client Services. I heard what happened at the meeting. I am so sorry. Please call me when you get this. The next message is more frantic. Eleanor, I heard about Stephen and the phone calls. The whole office is in an uproar. Can you please call me back? I need to understand what is happening. By the middle of the list, the messages have become almost pleading. Eleanor, this is Tom from the executive team. We need to talk. The system is falling apart without you. Stephen is gone and no one knows how to handle the Thompson account. Please. We need your help. I set the phone down and stare at the garden. The flowers are rooting to bloom. The new seeds are already pushing through the soil. I think about all the years I spent trying to prove my worth to people who only saw me when they needed something. Now they need something, and they are recalling. But I do not feel the pull to answer. I do not call any of them back. Instead, I put on my GA cleaning gloves and get to work. The soil is damp and CL. The smell of it reminds me of my childhood, of afternoons spent in my mother's GA den while she tended her flowers. I dig my hands into the dirt and pull out the stubborn roots of the weeds. It is slow work. Patient work. The kind of work that cannot be rushed. At noon, I take a break and sit on the porch steps with a glass of water. My phone buzzes. It is Rachel. I pick up. Eleanor. She sounds breathless. I am so glad you picked up. I need to tell you something. Mr. H.A. Risen announced a reorganization this morning. He is putting me in charge of your old division, but he is also bringing in someone from outside to oversee it. It is going to be a disaster. I wipe the sweat from my forehead. Rachel, slow down. Tell me exactly what happened. She takes a deep breath. The announcement went out at 8. Stephen is officially on leave pending investigation. They are saying he used confidential client information in his presentation to Mr. H.A. Risen. No one is saying what the information was, but people are talking. There is going to be a formal inquiry. I knew Stephen had an edge to him. A willingness to bend rules that I never felt comfortable with. I always suspected he was hiding something, but I never had proof. Rachel, you need to protect yourself. Do not let them drag you into this. I know. That is why I am calling you. She hesitates. I have been thinking about what you said. About leaving before they make you forget who you are. And I think I am ready. I sit up straighter. Ready for what? To quit. I have another offer. A small firm, but they are regrowing. They need someone with my skills. They are offering me more money than I am making here, and the culture is completely different. No open floor plans. No gossip. No politics. Just work. I feel a surge of pride for this young woman. She learned faster than I did. That is wonderful, Rachel. You should take it. Will you be my reference? I know it is a lot to ask, but you are the only one who can really speak to what I can do. Of course I will. Send me the details and I will call them today. Thank you, Eleanor. Thank you for everything. You taught me more than you know. I hang up the phone and sit back on the porch steps. A small joy spreads through me. I helped someone else escape. It is not the same as the big victories I used to chase, but it is something. It is real. It matters. That afternoon, I call my mother. She answers on the second ring. Eleanor. I was just thinking about you. How is the GA den? I smile. It is coming along. Mark, and I have been working on it every evening. The roses are rooting to bloom again. Good. She sounds pleased. Your father always said that roses need time. They need patience. You cannot force them to bloom before they are ready. I laugh. Are you talking about the roses or about me? Both. Her voice is rm. I have been thinking about you a lot since your visit. About everything you told me. You made a brave decision, Eleanor. Not everyone has the courage to walk away. I think about the office. The chaos. The calls. I do not feel brave. I feel tired. That is what courage looks like sometimes. She says it like she can read my mind. It is not always loud and dramatic. Sometimes it is just putting one foot in front of the other. Sometimes it is just getting out of bed in the morning. We talk for another hour. She tells me about her baking business. She still makes pies and cakes for local events. She is thinking about teaching a class at the community center. I tell her about Rachel and her new job. About the GA about Mark and the note he left me. He is trying, she says. That is more than most men do. He is. I look out at the GA and see Mark's footprints in the dirt. I am trying too. We are both trying. That evening, Mark comes home at 6 just like he promised. He brings takeout from the Italian place we used to go to before life got too busy. We eat on the back porch and watch the sunset over the GA. The sky is orange and pink. The air is warm and stilled. I tell him about Rachel. He listens without interrupting. When I am done, he shakes his head. She is smart to get out while she can. That place is a sinking ship. I think so too. I am glad she has a way out. He reaches across the table and takes my hand. You are a good mentor, Eleanor. You always have been. You just never gave yourself credit for it. I squeeze his hand back. I gave credit to everyone else. I just forgot to keep some for myself. We sit in silence for a while. The phone buzzes on the table, but I ignore it. Mark looks at it and then at me. Are you ever going to call them back? I think about the question. The answer is complicated. I will call back the ones who matter. The rest can wait. Or they can figure it out on their own. He nods slowly. I can see him processing everything. The weight of the past week. The strangeness of our new routine. You know, he says, I have been thinking about something. About what happens next. What do you mean? You quit your job. Rachel is leaving. The company is falling apart. But what about you? What are you going to do? I look at the GA. The roses. The new seeds. The patch by the fence that we still need to clear. I do not know yet. I am still figuring it out. That is okay. He squeezes my hand. You do not have to have all the answers right now. You can just be. Just be. That is a foreign concept to me. For 23 years, I was always doing. Always producing. Always achieving. I never learned how to just exist without a purpose. I think I can learn, I say. I think I have time. Wednesday morning, I wake up to the sound of birdsong. The sun is already up. I lie in bed and listen to the world outside. The neighbor's dog barks. A car drives past. Somewhere down the street, a lawnmower starts up. Ordinary sounds. Peaceful sounds. I get dressed and go downstairs. Mark has already left for work, but he has left another note on the kitchen counter. Coffee is made. I will be home by 6. Love you. I smile at the note and pour myself a cup of coffee. I take it out to the GA and sit on the porch steps. The new seeds are rooting to sprout. Tiny green shoots pushing through the soil. I touch one gently and feel the delicate life of it. My phone buzzes. It is a number I do not recognize. I almost ignore it, but something makes me pick up. Mrs. Chin. A woman's voice. WARM and Clea R. My name is Grace Thompson. I am David's wife. I am confused. David and I never discussed personal matters. Never shared details about our families. Grace. Hello. Is everything all right? I do not mean to intrude. She sounds sincere. But I have been listening to David talk about you for the past week. He has been so upset about what happened at your company. And I wanted to say something to you. I wait, unsure where this is going. I am a woman in business too. I have been there. The invisible YRS. The YRS where you work twice as hard and get half the recognition. And then one day you realize you have been pouring yourself into a place that will never pour back into you. Her words hit a nerve. You understand. I do. And I want to tell you something that no one told me when I was in your position. Take the time you need to heal. Do not rush back into anything. The world will still be here when you are ready. But you need to give yourself permission to rest. I feel TRS prick at my eyes. This woman is a total stranger, but she is speaking directly to the part of me I have been trying to ignore. The part that is tired down to the bone. Thank you, I say. I needed to hear that. One more thing. David's offer is not just about business. He sees something in you that goes beyond your resume. Whatever you decide to do, know that you have allies. Real ones. Not just people who need something from you. I hang up the phone and sit with the weight of her words. A stranger reached out to me. A stranger saw me. If she can do that, maybe I can do the same for someone else. That afternoon, I drive to the community center. My mother told me about it. She said they have a program for teaching skills to people who are re-looking for work. I walk inside and ask to speak to the director. The director is a woman named Patricia. She is about my age, with kind eyes and a firm handshake. I tell her I want to volunteer. I want to teach people what I know about business. About client relations and negotiation and how to stand up for yourself in a world that wants you to be invisible. Patricia looks at me for a long moment. You have no idea how much we need someone like you, she says. Most of our clients have been out of work for years. They have lost their confidence. They need someone who can show them that they still have value. I think about my own journey. The years of invisibility. The moment I finally walked away. I know exactly what they are going through. I start the next week. The class is small. 8 people, mostly women, all of them looking at me with wide eyes. I tell them my story. The 23 years. The resignation. The phone calls. The den. They listen in silence. When I am done, one woman raises her hand. How did you know it was time to leave? I think about the question. The answer is simple and complicated at the same time. I knew it was time when I realized I was invisible. When I realized that no amount of hard work would make them see me. I had to see myself first. The woman nods slowly. I think I am invisible too, she says. I think I have been invisible for a long time. I look at her. At all of them. You are not invisible. You just need to remember how to be seen. The class runs for 2 hours. We talk about resumes and interviews and how to negotiate a salary. I teach them the things I learned the hard way. The things no one ever taught me. When the class ends, the women file out one by one. Each one shakes my hand and thanks me. I feel something I have not felt in years, purpose. Not the kind that comes from a job title or a paycheck. The kind that comes from helping someone else find their way. That evening, I tell Mark about the class. He listens with a smile on his face. You are natural at this, he says. You always were. You just never gave yourself credit for it. I shrug. I am not sure what I am doing. I am just figuring it out as I go. That is the best way, he says. That is how all the best things start. We eat dinner on the back porch. The sun is setting. The garden is beginning to look like itself again. The roses are re-blooming. The new seeds are regrowing. The patch by the fence is clear. I think about the week. The calls. The garden. The class. Rachel and her new job. Grace Thompson and her unexpected kindness. My mother and her baking business. Mark and his notes. I think about who I am now. Outside of the office. Without the title and the badge and the box of files. I am still figuring it out, but I am not afraid of the question anymore. I have allies. I have purpose. I have time. And for the first time in 23 years, I am exactly where I want to be. Friday morning comes with a heaviness in the air. I feel it before I even open my eyes. The phone on the nightstand has been silent for 2 days, and I have been grateful for the quiet. But something tells me today will be different. The garden is almost finished. The roses are in full bloom. The new seeds have grown into strong little plants. Mark and I have settled into a new rhythm. He leaves for work with a kiss on my forehead. I spend my mornings in the dirt and my afternoons at the community center. It has been good. It has been peaceful. But peace does not last forever. I am on my second cup of coffee when the phone rings. I see the name on the screen and my stomach tightens. Mr. H.A. Risen. I let it ring 3 times before I pick up. Eleanor. His voice is ca reeful. Apologetic. I know I have already asked this, but I need to ask again. Can you come in for a meeting? There are some things we need to resolve. I set down my coffee cup and walk to the window. The garden looks beautiful in the morning light. I do not want to go back to that building. I do not want to walk through those doors and feel invisible again. I am not sure that is a good idea. I understand. He pauses. I would not ask if it were not important. Stephen's investigation has uncovered some things that affect you directly. I think you need to hear them in person. I close my eyes and take a breath. What time? 10 o'clock. I will have a car sent for you. That is not necessary. I can drive myself. I hang up the phone and stand at the window for a long moment. The garden is peaceful. The roses are beautiful. But I cannot stay in this peace forever. There are things I need to face. I dress ca fully. Not in the navy blouse with the frayed collar. I choose something new. A soft blue sweater that my mother gave me for my birthday. It makes me feel like myself instead of the person I used to be. The drive to Caldwell Logistics takes 40 minutes. The building looks the same. Beige concrete. Dark windows. The same business park that I have driven through thousands of times. I park in the visitor section instead of my old spot. I do not have a name painted on the concrete anymore. Inside, the lobby is busy. People rush past me with their heads down. No one looks at me. No one recognizes me. I am just another visitor. Another face in the crowd. It feels strange. It feels liberating. The receptionist is a young woman I have never seen before. She asks for my name and directs me to the conference room on the 4th floor. I take the elevator up. The doors open onto the bullpen and I see the cubicles. They look smaller than I remember. More cramped. More gray. Rachel sees me first. She waves from her desk and I walk over to her. Eleanor. She hugs me. I did not know you were coming today. Mr. H.A. Risen called. I pull back and look at her. She looks different. Lighter. Happier. You look good, Rachel. I am good. She smiles. I gave my notice yesterday. My last day is next Friday. I am so excited I can barely sit still. I feel a surge of pride. That is wonderful. I am so happy for you. She leans in closer. You should know. There is something going on. Something big. Stephen's investigation has turned up more than just unauthorized client calls. People are whispering about fraud. Embezzlement. I do not know the details, but it is serious. I feel a chill run down my spine. Fraud. Embezzlement. I never suspected Stephen of anything like that. I knew he was ambitious. I knew he bent rules. But this is something else entirely. I walk to the conference room and open the door. Mr. H.A. Risen is already inside. So are two other men in suits. Lawyers, I assume. They stand when I enter and Mr. H.A. Risen gestures to a chair. Please sit down, Eleanor. I sit. The lawyers sit. Mr. H.A. Risen sits. The room is quiet. I can hear the hum of the overhead lights. The same hum I heard on my last day. The same hum that has been buzzing in my ears for 23 years. Thank you for coming, Eleanor. Mr. H.A. Risen folds his hands on the table. I know this is difficult. I know you have moved on. But there are some things you need to know about what happened here. About what Stephen did. I wait. I do not speak. I let him fill the silence. Stephen has been using confidential client information for his own benefit. He was selling that information to competitors. He was also falsifying reports to make his projects look more profitable than they really were. He was doing it for ERS. And he was planning to blame you for it. I feel the blood drain from my face. Blame me. He had documents Prepper read. Reports that showed you as the one responsible for the discrepancies. He was planning to present them to the BOA RD after you left. He wanted to destroy your reputation so that no one would question his methods. I think about all the ERS I worked alongside him. All the meetings. All the projects. All the times I trusted him with my work. He was building a case against me the whole time. I set my hands on the table. They are steady. I am steadier than I expected. Why are you telling me this? Because you deserve to know. Mr. H.A. Risen's voice is sincere. You worked here for 23 years. You built this company with your own hands. And Stephen was going to take all of that away from you. I cannot let that stand. What are you going to do about it? He looks at the lawyers. One of them speaks. We are refiling charges. Stephen is already under investigation by the authorities. We are recuperating fully. We also want to make a public statement. We want to clear your name. I sit back in my chair. Clear my name. I did not even know my name needed clearing. I shake my head. I appreciate that, but I do not need a public statement. I am not part of this company anymore. I have moved on. You have every right to be angry. Mr. H.A. Risen leans forward. I know I failed you. I know I did not see what was happening. I was too busy looking at spreadsheets and quarterly reports to notice that one of my best employees was being set up to take the fall. I look at him. At this man who was my boss for 23 years. I do not feel angry anymore. I feel sorry for him. This is your mess, Mr. H.A. Risen. Stephen did what he did because you allowed the culture to grow. You created an environment where ambition outweighed integrity. You let people like Stephen thrive while people like me faded into the background. He flinches like I have struck him. You are right. I do not have an excuse. I just have an apology. I stand up from the table. I do not need an apology. I have already given myself the thing I needed most. I walked away. I am building a new life. And nothing Stephen did or did not do is going to change that. Mr. H.A. Risen stands too. Eleanor. He hesitates. There is something else. Something you should know. I stop at the door and turn back. What? The Thompson account. They are re-pulling their business. David Thompson called me yesterday and told me he is taking his entire portfolio to a new firm. He would not say which one. He just said he wants to work with people he trusts. I feel a strange mix of emotions. Satisfaction. Sadness. Relief. I built that relationship with David Thompson. I earned his trust. And now he is leaving because of what Stephen did. That hurts me more than I thought it would. I walk out of the conference room and into the bullpen. The cubicles still gray. The overhead lights still hum. Rachel is standing by the water cooler, waiting for me. Are you okay? I am fine. I look around the room. At all the faces that used to pass me by without a glance. At all the people who only saw me when they needed something. I will be fine. She hugs me again. I am going to miss you, she says. Even though I am leaving too. I am going to miss knowing you are here. I hold her at arm's length. You have a good life, Rachel. You deserve it. You are going to do wonderful things. She smiles. So are you. I walk out of the building and into the parking lot. The sun is warm on my face. The sky is clear. I get in my car and sit for a moment. My hands are still steady. My heart is calmed. I think about everything Mr. H.A. Risen told me. Stephen's plan. The documents. The accusations he was going to make. I could be angry. I could be bitter. But I am not. I am relieved. Not because he failed. Because I do not see anymore. What he tried to do does not define me. It defines him. I drive home and find Mark in the garden. He took the day off. He wanted to surprise me. He is kneeling in the dirt, planting new flowers in the patch by the fence. I stand at the edge of the lawn and watch him. He looks up when he hears my footsteps. How did it go? I tell him everything. The meeting. Stephen's investigation. The fraud. The public statement. The Thompson account. He listens without interrupting. When I am done, he shakes his head. That man is a piece of work, Mark says. I cannot believe he was going to blame you for his mess. I can. I knew Stephen was ambitious. I just did not know how far he would go. Mark stands up and brushes the dirt off his knees. What are you going to do now? I look at the garden. The new flowers. The roses in full bloom. I am going to keep living my life. I am going to keep teaching my class. I am going to keep growing things. I am going to keep building something that is mine. He smiles and takes my hand. That sounds like a good plan. We go inside and I call David Thompson. He answers on the first ring. Eleanor. I was hoping you would call. I heard you pulled your business from Caldwell Logistics. I pause. I wanted to thank you for standing up for what is right. David is quiet for a moment. I did not do it for you, Eleanor. I did it for me. I cannot work with people I do not trust. And after everything that happened, I do not trust anyone there. I understand. I sit down at the kitchen table. David, about your offer. I have been thinking about it. And I am not ready to come back to work yet. But I want to stay in touch. I want to see what happens next. That is all I ask, he says. Stay in touch. Think about it. When you are ready, I will be here. I hang up the phone and look around the kitchen. The dishes are re-clean. The mail is sorted. The calendar are on the fridge is no longer filled with deadlines and appointments that were never mine. There is room for new things now. That evening, Mark and I sit on the back porch and watch the sunset. The garden is full of flowers. The roses are red and pink and white. The new seeds have grown into strong little plants. It is beautiful. It is ours. I think about everything that happened today. Stephen's plan. Mr. H.A. Risen's apology. David Thompson's loyalty. Rachel's new life. I think about the 23 years I spent in that building. The invisible years. The years where I worked twice as hard and got half the recognition. But I also think about the phone calls. The 62 people who suddenly remembered my name. The clients who trusted me. The colleagues who learned from me. The friends I made along the way. Those years were not wasted. They shaped me into the person I am today. Mark reaches over and takes my hand. Are you okay? He asks. I look at him. At this man who has been by my side for 30 years. The man who left me notes and planted flowers and took a day off work just to surprise me. I am more than okay, I say. I am exactly where I need to be. He squeezes my hand. Good. We sit in silence and watch the stars come out. I think about tomorrow. The garden needs watering. The class needs planning. My mother wants me to come for dinner. There is so much to do. So much to look forward to. I think about the past. The office. The chaos. The betrayal. It feels like a lifetime ago. It feels like another person's story. I am not that woman anymore. I have left her behind. And I am not afraid of what comes next. 2 weeks pass. The garden is fully transformed. The roses climb the trellis my father built years ago. The new flowers have grown tall and bright. The patch by the fence is no longer a mess of weeds but a neat bed of marigolds and lavender. I spend hours out there each day, watering and pruning and simply sitting. My hands have calluses now. My skin is tan from the sun. I look like a different person. I feel like a different person. The community center class has grown. Word spread through the neighborhood. More women root coming. Some men too. People who have been out of work for years. People who have lost their confidence. People who need someone to tell them they still have value. I tell them my story. They tell me theirs. We learn from each other. We grow together. Rachel calls me every Sunday. She root her new job last week. She loves it. The culture is different, she says. People actually talk to each other. There are no cubicles. No open floor plans. No gossip. Just work. Just people who see about what they do. I am so happy for her. She learned faster than I did. She escaped before the years could steal her light. My mother comes to visit. She walks through the garden with a critical eye. Not bad, she says. Your father would be proud. He always said you had a green thumb. You just never had time to use it, I laugh. I have time now. I have all the time in the world. But she looks at me with those sharp eyes. You look good, Eleanor. You look like yourself again. The real yourself. Not the one who is always rushing out the door. I feel a warmth spread through me. I feel like myself too. But something is stirring beneath the surface. I do not know what it is. I just feel it. A restlessness. An itch. The garden is beautiful. The class is fulfilling. But there is something missing. Something I cannot name. Thursday afternoon, I am in the garden when the phone rings. It is an unknown number. I almost ignore it, but something makes me pick up. Mrs. Chen. My name is Cynthia. I work at the law firm representing Caldwell Logistics in the Stephen investigation. I am calling to ask if you would be willing to testify. I sit down on the porch steps. Testify. Stephen's case is going to trial. The authorities have gathered significant evidence. But we need someone who can speak to the culture of the company. Someone who can explain how Stephen operated. How he manipulated people. How he covered his tracks. I think about the meeting with Mr. H.A. Risen. The documents. The accusations Stephen was planning to make. The years I spent working alongside him, never suspecting what he was doing. I do not want to go back to that building. I do not want to relive those years. I understand this is difficult. Cynthia's voice is gentle. But your testimony could make a difference. Stephen hurt a lot of people. He hurt you. You have the power to help others who were affected by his actions. I close my eyes and think about the women in my class. The people who lost their confidence. The people who were made to feel invisible. Stephen did not just hurt me. He hurt everyone who trusted him. Everyone who believed in the system he was corrupting. I will do it, I say. Cynthia thanks me and gives me the details. The trial is in 3 weeks. I will need to prepare. I will need to go over my old reports. I will need to remember things I have tried to forget. I hang up the phone and sit in the quiet. The garden is peaceful. The roses are beautiful. But I feel like I am standing on the edge of something. Something that will change everything again. RK comes home and finds me still sitting on the porch steps. He sits down beside me. What happened? I tell him about the call. The trial. The testimony. He listens without interrupting. When I am done, he puts his arm around me. You do not have to do this, he says. You can say no. I know. I look at the garden. The flowers. The trellis. The patch by the fence. But I think I need to. Not for them. For me. I need to see this through. I need to close this chapter for good. He nods slowly. Then I will be there with you. Every step of the way. The next week is a blur of preparation. Cynthia sends me documents to review. Old reports. Old emails. Old meeting notes. I sit at the kitchen table and read them one by one. Each page brings back memories. Some good. Some bad. Some I had buried so deep I thought I had forgotten them. I remember the first time I met Stephen. He had just joined the company. Fresh from a competitor. Full of ambition and confidence. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he would go FAR. I never thought he would go this FAR. I remember the promotion. 3 years ago. Stephen and I were the final candidates. I got the job. He did not. I saw the look in his eyes. The resentment. The hunger. I told myself it was nothing. I told myself he would get over it. I was wronged. I remember the meetings. The way Stephen would take credit for my ideas. The way he would undermine me in front of clients. The way he would smile while he did it. I convinced myself I was imagining things. I convinced myself he was just ambitious. I was wrong about that too. I find an email in the documents that stops me cold. It is from Stephen to Mr. H.A. Risen. Dated 3 months before I resigned. In it, Stephen accuses me of mishandling the Thompson account. He says my performance has been declining. He suggests I be placed on a performance improvement plan. He was laying the groundwork. He was building a case against me. I read the email 3 times. The words blur in front of my eyes. I think about all the times I defended Stephen. All the times I told myself he was just a colleague. All the times I ignored my instincts because I wanted to believe the best in people. I call Cynthia. Did you know about this email? She pauses. Yes. We found it in Stephen's files. It is part of the evidence against him. It shows he was planning to blame you for his actions. I feel a cold anger settle in my chest. He tried to destroy me. He tried to make me the scapegoat for his crimes. And he almost succeeded. If I had not resigned when I did, if I had stayed, he would have succeeded. That is why your testimony is so important, Cynthia says. You can show the jury who Stephen really is. You can show them the pattern, the manipulation, the lies. You can give them the truth. I hang up the phone and stare out the window. The garden is still beautiful. The roses are still blooming. But I see it differently now. I see the weeds that tried to choke the life out of my flowers. I see the work it took to pull them out. I think about the women in my class. The ones who have been invisible for so long. The ones who lost their confidence. The ones who were made to feel like they did not matter. Stephen did that to people. He made them feel small so he could feel big. He made them feel invisible so he could shine. I will not let him do it anymore. The trial is in 2 weeks. I go over my testimony with Cynthia every day. She asks me questions. I answer them. She pushes me to remember details I have buried. The color of Stephen's tie on the day of the promotion. The tone of his voice when he undermined me in front of clients. The way he looked at me with that hunger that I mistook for ambition. I remember everything now. I remember it all. The day before the trial, I go to my mother's house. I sit at the kitchen table and tell her everything. The documents. The emails. The accusations Stephen was planning to make. The testimony I am going to give. She listens without interrupting. When I am done, she reaches across the table and takes my hand. You are brave, she says. You are so brave. I do not feel brave. I feel terrified. I feel like I am standing at the edge of a cliff and I cannot see the bottom. Bravery is not about not being afraid. My mother's grip is firm. Bravery is about being afraid and doing it anyway. You are doing what needs to be done. That is courage. I hold her hand and feel the warmth of it. I think about the garden. The roses. The new seeds. I think about everything I have built in the past few weeks. The class. The new friends. The new life. I am not going to let Stephen take any of that away. I am ready, I say. I am ready to face him. The morning of the trial arrives. Mark drives me to the courthouse. He holds my hand in the car and does not let go until we reach the doors. I walk inside and find Cynthia waiting for me. She looks calm and professional. She hands me a glass of water. How are you feeling? She asks. Nervous. I take a sip of water. But ready. Good. She leads me to a small room where we wait. The minutes tick by slowly. I listen to the sounds of the courthouse. Footsteps. Voices. The distant echo of a judge's gavel. Finally, Cynthia comes back. It is time. I walk into the courtroom. It is smaller than I expected. The walls are wood-paneled. The judge sits at the front. The jury is on the left. The spectators are on the right. I see Stephen at the defense table. He looks different. Smaller. Paler. The hunger in his eyes is gone. Replaced by something else. Fear, I think. Or shame. I cannot tell which. I take the stand. I raise my hand and swear to tell the truth. The prosecutor asks me questions. I answer them. My voice is steady. My hands are still. I tell the jury about the years I worked at Caldwell Logistics. The culture. The ambition. The politics. I tell them about Stephen. The way he took credit for my ideas. The way he undermined me. The way he manipulated everyone around him. I tell them about the email. The accusations. The plan to blame me for his crimes. I tell them how he almost succeeded. How he would have succeeded if I had not resigned when I did. The defense attorney cross-examines me. He tries to make me look bitter. He tries to make me look like a disgruntled former employee with a grudge. I do not let him. I stay calm. I stay steady. I tell the truth. When I step down from the stand, I feel a strange sense of peace. I have done what I needed to do. I have spoken the truth. What happens next is out of my hands. The trial lasts 3 days. I do not attend the rest of it. I do not want to see Stephen again. I go home and tend to my garden. I teach my class. I live my life. On the 4th day, Cynthia calls. The verdict is in. Guilty on all counts. Stephen is going to prison. I hang up the phone and sit in the garden. The roses are in full bloom. The new flowers are tall and strong. The patch by the fence is covered in lavender. I take a deep breath and let the peace wash over me. Mark comes home that evening and finds me on the porch steps. He sits down beside me. I heard about the verdict. I nod. It is over. He takes my hand. How do you feel? I look at the garden. The sunset is painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. The flowers are glowing in the fading light. I feel like I can breathe, I say. For the first time in years, I feel like I can really breathe. He squeezes my hand. Good, I think about the past few weeks. The documents. The emails. The testimony. The verdict. It was hard. It was painful. But it was necessary. I needed to see it through. I needed to close this chapter. I think about the women in my class. The ones who were invisible. The ones who lost their confidence. I think about what I can tell them now. I can tell them that the truth matters. That standing up for yourself matters. That even when it is hard, even when it is painful, it is worth it. I think about my mother. About what she said. Bravery is about being afraid and doing it anyway. I was afraid. But I did it anyway. I think about Mark. About the notes he leaves me. About the flowers he planted. About the way he held my hand and never let go. I think about the garden. The roses. The lavender. The patch by the fence that used to be full of weeds. It is beautiful now. It is full of life. And so am I. The garden is quiet now. The trial is over. Stephen is in prison. The phone calls have stopped. The chaos has faded into memory. I sit on the porch steps and look at the roses and the lavender and the marigolds, and I feel a strange emptiness. I have been so busy fighting. So busy surviving. So busy pulling weeds and planting seeds and building something new. Now the fighting is done and I do not know what to do with myself. Mark notices. He always notices now. He comes home from work and finds me on the porch steps, and he sits down beside me without a word. We watch the sun set together. The sky turns orange and pink and purple. The flowers glow in the fading light. It is beautiful. It is peaceful. But something is missing. I start to notice the small things. The way I check my phone for messages that do not come. The way I wake up in the morning with no plan for the day. The way I walk through the garden and feel like I am waiting for something. I do not know what it is. I just know I am waiting. One morning I drive to the community center for my class. The women are already there. They sit in a circle and wait for me to begin. I look at their faces and I see the same thing I saw in the mirror months ago. They are looking for something. They are waiting for someone to tell them they mattered. I sit down with them instead of standing at the front. I want to try something different today, I say. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your stories. One woman speaks. Her name is Rosa. She has been out of work for 5 years. She used to be a manager at a small company. She loved her job. She was good at it. Then the company downsized and she was let go. She has not been able to find steady work since. I feel like I have lost my voice, she says. Another woman speaks. Her name is Patricia. She has been raising children for the past 15 years. She wants to go back to work now that her youngest is in school. But she does not know where to start. The world has changed, she says. I do not know how to fit in anymore. A man speaks. His name is James. He worked at a factory for 30 years. The factory closed down and he was laid off. He has been looking for work for 2 years. He has sent out hundreds of resumes. He has not gotten a single interview. I do not know what I am doing wrong, he says. I feel like I have become invisible. I listen to each of them. I hear their stories. I feel their pain. I see myself in every one of them. I tell them about the garden. About pulling weeds and planting seeds and waiting for things to grow. I tell them about the roses that took years to bloom. I tell them about the patch by the fence that used to be full of weeds and is now covered in lavender. Growth takes time, I say. It takes patience. It takes faith that something is happening even when you cannot see it. You have not lost your voice. You have just forgotten how to use it. You are not invisible. You have just forgotten how to be seen. The class runs longer than usual. We talk about resumes and interviews and networking. We talk about confidence and self-worth and finding your voice. When it is over, Rosa comes up to me. Thank you, she says. I think I needed to hear that. I hold her hand. You are going to be fine. You have more strength than you know. I drive home that afternoon with a strange feeling in my chest. The emptiness is still there, but it is softer now. More like a space waiting to be filled. That evening Mark and I are eating dinner on the porch when he asks me the question I have been avoiding. What are you going to do now, he says. The trial is over. The GA is finished. The class is going well. What comes next? I set down my fork. I do not know. I have been so focused on the past that I have not thought about the future. He reaches across the table and takes my hand. You have all the time in the world to figure it out. You do not need to have an answer right now. I know. I look at the GA. The flowers beautiful. The roses blooming. But I want more than flowers. I want something I can build. Something I can grow. The next day I go to my mother's house. She is in the kitchen, baking bread. The smell of it fills the whole house. It reminds me of my childhood. Of Saturday mornings when my mother would bake and my father would read the newspaper and I would sit at the table and watch them both. Sit down, she says. I have something for you. She slides a loaf of bread across the table. It is still warm. I break off a piece and eat it. It is perfect. Soft and warm and full of flavor. This is good, I say. Really good. She smiles. It is the same recipe my grandmother used. The same recipe I used when I had my baking business. I have been thinking about that business lately. Thinking about rooting it up again. I look at her with surprise. I thought you were done with all that. I was. She wipes her hands on her apron. But I have been feeling restless. The same way you are feeling now. I think it is in our blood. This need to create something. To build something with our own hands. I think about the GA. The roses. The lavender. The marigolds. I think about the class. The women who are finding their voices. I think about the testimony I gave and the trial and the verdict. I have been creating things. I have been building things. I just did not realize it. Maybe you should start your own business, my mother says. Something small. Something that matters to you. I shake my head. I do not know the first thing about running a business. Neither did I when I root. She sits down across from me. But I learned. I made mistakes. I figured it out. And so will you. I think about her words all the way home. Rooting my own business. It sounds impossible. It sounds terrifying. But it also sounds right. That night I cannot sleep. I lie in bed and stare at the ceiling and think about the possibilities. What would I do? What would I build? I think about the class and the women who are looking for work. I think about the people who have lost their confidence. The people who feel invisible. Maybe I can do something for them. Maybe I can build a place where they can find themselves again. I get out of bed and go to the kitchen. I make myself a cup of tea and sit at the table with a notebook. I start writing. Ideas. Plans. Dreams. The words come faster than I expected. By the time the sun comes up, I have filled 10 pages. Mark finds me at the table when he wakes up. His hair is mussed and his eyes are heavy. You have been up all night, he says. I look up from my notebook. I could not sleep. I was thinking. He sits down across from me. Thinking about what? I slide the notebook across the table. Read this. He picks it up and reads. His face is unreadable. When he is done, he sets it down and looks at me. You want to start a consulting firm? I nod. Not a big one. Something small. Something that helps people like the women in my class. People who have lost their confidence. People who need someone to help them find their way. He is quiet for a long moment. Then he smiles. That is a great idea. You think so? I know so. He reaches across the table and takes my hand. You have spent your whole life helping people. You helped me. You helped Lisa. You helped Rachel. You helped all those women in your class. This is just the next step. I feel a warmth spread through me. The emptiness is gone. Replaced by something else. Purpose. Excitement. Fear. All of it together. I spend the next few weeks planning. I call David Thompson and tell him about my idea. He is enthusiastic. I think it is wonderful, he says. I would be happy to be your first client. I call my mother. She is thrilled. I knew you would figure it out, she says. You always do. I call Rachel. She is working at her new job and she loves it. But she says she would be happy to help me in her spare time. I would be honored, she says. You taught me everything I know. Start small. Just a few clients at first. People who have been out of work for a long time. People who need help with their resumes and their interviews and their confidence. I meet them at the community center. I help them find their voice. The weeks pass quickly. The business grows slowly. I do not make much money at first, but I do not see I am doing something that matters. I am helping people. I am building something that is mine. One afternoon I am in the garden when the phone rings. It is Rosa. She tells me she got a job. A good job. A job that pays well and treats her with respect. I could not have done it without you, she says. You gave me back my voice. I hang up the phone and sit on the porch steps. The roses are in bloom. The lavender is swaying in the breeze. The patch by the fence is full of color. I think about everything that has happened. The resignation. The chaos. The trial. The garden. The class. The business. I think about the women I have helped. The people I have met. The lives I have touched. I think about my mother and her baking business. Rachel and her new job. Lisa and her study abroad program. Mark and the notes he leaves me. I think about who I am now. Not the woman who was invisible. Not the woman who worked 23 hours without being seen. The woman who found her voice. The woman who built something from nothing. The woman who grew a garden and a business and a new life. I am exactly where I am supposed to be. And I am not afraid of what comes next. The morning of my 49th birthday dawns clear RNCL. I wake up before the alarm, which I no longer need, and lie in bed listening to the birds. Mark is still asleep beside me, his breathing slow and peaceful. I slip out of bed and walk to the window. The garden is below me, full of roses and lavender and marigolds. The trellis my father built is covered in climbing vines. The patch by the fence is a sea of purple and orange. It has been 6 months since I resigned from Caldwell Logistics. 6 months since my last day. 6 months since everything changed. I go downstairs and make coffee. The kitchen is quiet. The sun is just beginning to rise. I take my coffee out to the garden and sit on the porch steps. The air is still and sweet. The flowers are still wet with dew. I think about the past 6 months. The chaos of the resignation. The 62 phone calls. The trial. The testimony. The verdict. The garden. The class. The business. I have built so much. I have grown so much. Mark comes out with a cup of coffee and sits beside me. Happy birthday, he says. I lean against him. Thank you. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small box wrapped in brown paper. I have something for you. I open the box. Inside is a silver locket. I open it and see a tiny photo of the Garden inside. I look at him with TRS in my eyes. Mark. This is beautiful. He shrugs. It is not much. But I wanted you to have something that reminds you of this place. Of everything you have built. I put the locket around my neck. It rests against my chest, warm and solid. It is perfect. Thank you. We sit in the Garden and watch the sun rise. The sky turns pink and orange and gold. The flowers glow in the morning light. I think about all the birthdays I spent rushing out the door to get to the office. All the birthdays I spent in meetings and conference calls. All the birthdays I really noticed. This one is different. This one is mine. Later that morning, I drive to the community center. The class is waiting for me. The women are sitting in their circle, and there is a cake on the table. Happy birthday, they say in unison. I laugh and hug each of them. Rosa is there. She has a new job and she looks different. Confident. Happy. She tells me she is training for a promotion. Patricia is there. She found a part-time job that fits around her children's schedule. James is there. He is working at a small manufacturing company. He tells me he has not felt this good in years. I look at them and feel a warmth spread through me. This is what I built. This is what matters. After the class, I drive to my mother's house. She is waiting for me on the porch. She has baked a cake. It is covered in flowers made of frosting. I hug her and she holds me tight. My daughter, she says. My brave, beautiful daughter. We sit on the porch and eat cake and talk about everything. The business. The Garden. The class. The trial. The years that led up to this moment. My mother tells me she is proud of me. I tell her I am proud of her too. For her baking business. For her strength. For teaching me how to grow. I leave my mother's house in the late afternoon. I drive home with the windows down and the wind in my hair. The sun is warm on my face. The music on the radio is old and familiar. I feel like I am floating. Like I am exactly where I am supposed to be. When I get home, Lisa is waiting for me. She is standing on the front porch with a bouquet of flowers. She came home from college for my birthday. She hugs me and I hold her tight. I missed you, she says. I missed you too. We go inside and she tells me about Spain. About the study abroad program and the friends she made and the places she saw. She is different now. More confident. More sure of herself. I see myself in her. The younger version of me. The one who had not yet been made invisible. I want to tell you something, she says. I look at her. What? I have been thinking about what you told me. About not giving myself away to people who do not see me. I have been thinking about it a lot. And I want you to know that I am going to do things differently. I am not going to let anyone make me feel invisible. I feel TRS prick at my eyes. That is the best birthday present you could give me. She smiles. I learn it from you. That evening, Mark has prepared a dinner. He has set the table on the back porch. There are candles and flowers and my favorite dishes. The Garden is lit with fairy lights. It looks like something out of a dream. We eat and laugh and talk. Lisa tells stories about Spain. Mark tells stories about his work. I tell stories about the class and the business and the garden. We are a family. We are together. We are happy. After dinner, Mark and Lisa clear are the table and I sit alone in the garden. The fairy lights twinkle above me. The flowers arc shapes in the twilight. I think about everything that has happened in the past 6 months. The resignation. The chaos. The phone calls. The trial. The verdict. The garden. The class. The business. I think about Stephen. He is in prison now. I do not feel anger toward him anymore. I feel pity. He had everything. Talent. Ambition. Opportunity. He threw it all away because he wanted more. He wanted to be seen. He wanted to be powerful. And he destroyed himself in the process. I think about Mr. Risen. He called me last week. He told me the company is restructuring. He is stepping down as C. He said he learned a lot from what happened. He said he is going to do things differently. I do not know if I believe him. But I hope he learned something. I hope he learned to see the people who are invisible. I think about Rachel. She is thriving at her new job. She calls me every Sunday. She tells me about her projects and her colleagues and her life. She is happy. She is free. She escaped before the IRS could steal her light. I think about my mother. She has root her baking business again. She is teaching classes at the community center. She is happier than I have seen her in IRS. She found her voice again. She found her purpose. I think about Lisa. She is going to graduate next year. She has a bright future ahead of her. She is going to do things differently. She is going to protect herself. She is going to be seen. I think about Mark. He has changed. He leaves me notes. He plants flowers. He takes days off to surprise me. He holds my hand and listens when I speak. He sees me now. He really sees me. I think about the garden. The roses and the lavender and the marigolds. The trellis my father built. The patch by the fence that used to be full of weeds. It is beautiful now. It is full of life. I think about the class. The women who found their voices. The men who found their confidence. The people who were invisible and are now seen. I think about the business. The consulting firm I built from nothing. The clients I have helped. The lives I have touched. I think about myself. The woman who was invisible. The woman who worked 23 years without being seen. The woman who walked away and built something new. The woman who found her voice. I hear footsteps on the porch. Mark comes out and sits beside me. What are you thinking about? He asks. Everything, I say. Everything that happened. Everything that changed. He puts his arm around me. Are you okay? I lean into him. I am more than okay. I am exactly where I am supposed to be. We sit in the garden and watch the stars come out. The fairy lights twinkle above us. The flowers sway in the breeze. The night is quiet and peaceful and full of possibility. Lisa comes out with a glass of wine for each of us. She sits on the steps and we drink together. We talk about the future. Her graduation. My business. Mark's retirement. We talk about plans and dreams and hopes. We talk about all the things we are going to do. I look at the two of them. My husband. My daughter. My family. I look at the garden. My garden. My creation. I look at the sky. Infinite and full of stars. I am not invisible anymore. I never was. I just forgot how to see myself. The phone buzzes in my pocket. I pull it out and see a message from Rosa. Thank you for everything. You changed my life. I smile and put the phone away. Mark looks at me. Who was that? A friend, I say. Someone I helped. Someone who helped me. He nods. He understands. He always understands now. We sit in the garden for a long time. We talk and laugh and drink wine. The night is warm and the stars are bright. The garden is full of flowers and fairy lights and life. I feel a peace settle over me. A deep and quiet peace. I think about the day I resigned. The meeting. The whispers. The phone calls. The chaos. I think about how it felt to walk out of that building. How it felt to be free. I think about the months that followed. The hard months. The painful months. The months of growth and change and discovery. I think about where I am now. Here. In this garden. With these people. With this life. I made it. I survived. I thrived. I take a deep breath and let the peace wash over me. The night is beautiful. The garden is beautiful. My life is beautiful. I am exactly where I am supposed to be. And I am not afraid of what comes next.